Hey, Ash here from Project Equanimity, and this is a video called Me and Everybody Else. So, me and everybody else. What does this mean? Obviously it's a huge existential question, thing to ponder, philosophy, school of thought, dilemma, paradox. We think of ourselves, us, me, alone on the earth with my thoughts and my body and my brain, and everybody else. And oh yeah, occasionally we realise that everyone else is me, myself, my body, my crazy brain, and everybody else. And we somehow exist in that state, or coexist, sometimes not. From, the relationships we have with our friends and our family to huge global relationships with other countries, Brexit, and the world at large. And we have all these massive problems with other people and other things and the external world, everything that exists outside of us. And oh yeah, we also have all these massive problems within ourselves. What do I do about this? How am I going to pay this bill? What am I going to do with my life? What's my purpose? Oh, I've got this relationship issue. What am I going to do? So you can see that there are problems in the world at large, in everyone else's lives, and in our own lives, in our personal lives, in our own inner world. So the inner world and the outer world kind of is the same thing, but we just think of it as completely separate because I'm trapped in this little brain in my body within this larger world, and that's almost too large for me to even comprehend. It's too large for my tiny little brain to fathom. So I will just look at myself and my problems and my issues, and then we have these little issues. What am I going to do about so-and-so? Oh, you never guess what so-and-so did. What do I do about it? And then we seek advice from our friends, and we can become a burden on our friends or our family. We become a burden on ourselves with these issues and problems. And when we don't rectify or become peaceful with the issues that we have, we then project these things onto other people. And not just in our own circle of relationships, friends and family, but you can see this on a world scale. For instance, the current climate change issue. You've got Attenborough literally going, if we don't sort this out in 12 years, we're screwed. You have the 15-year-old Swedish activist Greta Thunberg literally beautifully making us and the world's leaders ashamed of themselves, because no one is thinking about the world at large, the future generations, the children. They're thinking about themselves, and they're thinking about what's to gain for me, usually financially. This is why we have these massive problems, these huge problems which affect everyone, which affect the world, which affect the country in which these problems arise, because of money and greedy bastards, because it's all about me. So you can see now how your internal issues, shall we call them, affect other people on massive scales. So the issue is these larger world issues like climate change, and what the hell do we do about them to, not completely destroy our planet for our children and their children, if there even will be further generations, if we don't destroy the planet in the meantime. These things start with yourself. They start with your own issues with yourself, your own lack of connection to yourself. If you have all these multiple problems, what am I going to do about so-and-so? I've got this relationship issue, what do I do about it? And you're scatty as hell, Do you not think these things within your personal, private life, inner world, are going to affect your thinking and your whole demeanour and your whole attitude and beliefs of your outer world? So then it suddenly becomes completely insular and it's all about me. What am I going to get from this? Fuck everyone else. This is how these massive world issues start. This is why world leaders are dicks, because they have no connection to themselves. So, what is the solution? Connect with oneself. So ironically, all these people who are being selfish, which then affects everyone else, who don't have a choice with decisions made about their country or about the world at large and laws and things like that, what the ironic thing is you have to be selfish to be selfless. You start with yourself. This then affects how you are with the external, everything that exists outside of you. This is why my slogan is to heal oneself heals the people around you, and to heal the people around you heals oneself, because the inner and the outer is the same thing. Okay, how do we do this? What is this connection with oneself? I'm connected with myself. Well, if you have this attitude, you're not. Because you're already fighting, and you're already, this voice of a bad attitude is already affecting the things that you're saying. So if you say that to me, for example, and argue with me, you are then affecting me and my world. Can you see how this tiny little exchange can become a massive, huge thing on the world? So it starts with yourself. You have to get selfish. And I don't mean you have to be a selfish prick and a greedy bastard, because you're already doing that by not being selfish. You're being unconsciously selfish. You have to become consciously selfish for the self. Connect with yourself, sort out your own problems and issues so that then you are at peace with those issues, because then they don't exist. If you're at peace with someone, there is no problem. The reason we have problems is because we invent problems, because we are not at peace. We think we're not at peace with other people in these situations, but really we're not at peace with ourselves. So, how do we do this? There are multiple ways to do this. I personally find yoga and meditation. Why yoga? Because yoga gets me to a meditative state. Getting to a meditative state is quite hard, especially for us in the West, to just sit there in silence. What am I doing this for? Wait, close my eyes? Well, this is boring, I'm not getting anywhere. People in the East have more of a connection with themselves because their philosophies and ideals, Buddhism, Taoism, Indian philosophy, are all, they've been using this technology, this biotechnology for centuries. We in the West, we haven't. We're from like medieval people who torture and kill, And I'm not even going to go into like government hierarchy and kings and queens and monarchy, because much of that still exists today. But I personally, I enjoy meditating. I enjoy getting in touch with myself. I enjoy becoming silent and answering my own questions, because the answers are already there. All these problems that you have with other people, with relationships, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to make money? What's my purpose? You already have the answer. You're just hiding it from yourself, because you have not connected with yourself. You're arguing with yourself. It's this constant mind battle which drives everyone else crazy and becomes these larger issues, when really The issue is just with yourself, just not listening to yourself. We already have gut instincts. We feel everything in our gut. Our gut knows. And we pretend that we don't know and make all these issues about it and make it into a big drama, and you're a big bloody drama queen child. We make it an issue when it really shouldn't be. All we have to do is sit with ourselves and just connect with that feeling that we already know. Then we don't have to go through all this rigmarole. We hide the answers from ourselves because we're mental. Don't say, I'm not mental, because you are. If you think you're not mental, you're very mental, okay? Everyone is mental. We're all unique individuals with brains, and what you think and what I think are different things, okay? Some things we're never going to agree on, other things we are going to agree on. So, you may have points which I think are completely ludicrous. You may have points, I may have points which you think are completely ludicrous. Cool. That's awesome. That's the world we live in. We have different ideas. That's how we grow and evolve. We exchange ideas, and we argue, and we debate. But it doesn't really get us anywhere, does it? Unless we have something in which we do connect with and have input to within a equal relationship. Something that brings unison. I saw this awesome thing the other day. It said universe, but separated into two. Universe. One song. I think that's pretty beautiful. We all exist within this one song, no matter how separate we think we are from each other, no matter how separate we think we are or we are from ourselves. We all exist in this one universe. We can't even agree on our planet, which we all live on, this giant, amazing bio-spaceship hurtling through space that we're fucking up. We can't even agree on that. We can't even agree on our rules and laws within our own continents, within our own countries, within our own cities, within our own suburbs, towns, villages. Within our own households. We're always going to disagree. But the one thing is that we are all the same, and we all feel the same, and we all have the same bio makeup. We all have a body, we all have a brain, we all have a mind, we all have a personality, a unique character, we all have an individual soul, which connects every single person and every single living thing on the planet as one song. So connect with that one song, whatever it is for you. Okay, you have to try different things to connect with yourself. So what do we do about this? How do we solve these ridiculous situations that we get ourselves into, that we know deep down we're not representing our true selves, our authentic selves. We're just reacting from not instinct, from emotion, an emotional reaction, rather than a grounded response. We connect with ourselves, and the way you do that is however you want to do that. As I said, it is very difficult for Westerners to just dedicate the time to just sit and meditate. I find it incredibly difficult to meditate. Still, I've been doing it for years. I still have to make that decision to sit in silence, take some breaths, and just sit with myself. And more often than not, nothing happens. You don't meditate for something to happen. If you sit there wanting a result, you're not going to get it, ever. You're still in that crazy nan-duk-uru mindset of like, I have to do this, 1,000 miles per hour. No, it's shutting off of that. It's literally just going, I'm just going to sit and be and do nothing. That is when we reconnect with ourselves. That's when we go, oh yeah, I am mental. I've been running around like a headless chicken searching for these answers when they were there all along. All I had to do was sit and listen and reconnect with myself, these gut instincts. Oh yeah, that's what I've been doing all along. So instead of repeating these mental cycles of not connecting with yourself, of going mental and searching for answers, and then actually sitting down and connecting with yourself and going, oh yeah, I had the answers all along. How about we do this regularly, daily? We sit with ourselves every day. 10-15 minutes, that's all it takes. You can do it once, twice, once in the morning, once at night. You can do it once in the middle of the day. Just dedicate some time to connect to yourself, because when you connect to yourself, you connect with everyone else from this place of peace and contentment and inner knowing. You have no problems because you already have the solutions. If you already have the solutions, you have no problems, so you have no problem with anyone else. Nothing is an issue. Even when issues arise, of course, things happen in our lives that are completely unpredictable, which make us freak the hell out, not know what to do, run around like a headless chicken, ask a bunch of questions from everyone who will listen, and then ultimately we find the answer when we shut the hell up, when we least expect it, when we're just sat there staring at a wall, or at the beach, or staring at the sky, or just laid in bed, or in the shower is usually when answers come, because it's the only time you shut up and you stop thinking about all your problems and you just stand there, doing nothing. Nothingness. So, find something that reconnects you with yourself. This can be in anything. This can be in art, drawing, creating, making music, singing, playing an instrument, meditating, yoga, running, rowing, sailing, driving a car. The list is infinite of the things which bring you mindfulness. When you just stop thinking, you'll never truly stop thinking. There will always be something. But you can quiet the chatter and reach a place where you trick your brain. It just clicks into place when you're not expecting it. It's like a mental shift. Your whole perspective changes and you look at everything in hindsight and go, ah, now I'm present. It's as easy as that. Seeking presence, you will never be present. If you're constantly looking for presence, you are not present, are you? You're constantly looking for this thing that doesn't exist in this imaginary future, when the present will always be the present. It will always be now. Right now. As you're watching this, it is right now. Oh, it's now again. Wait 5 seconds. It's now again. Oh, and it was now for every moment of those 5 seconds. It's a new now. Now I've said now. I'm going to think about saying now in 1 second. Now. Oh, it's a different now. But it's still now. It will always be now. It always was now. It always will be now. So, how about you connect with yourself now? Right now. Yeah, right now. Okay. There was a form of meditation which the Osho cult used in the 70s. I forget the name of it, but it was to get Westerners into this meditative state where you just shut off and you're just with yourself. I forget the name of it, but it was a number of different exercises. It was like going crazy for 10 minutes, literally screaming, crying, laughing, whatever emotions you had wriggling around inside you, just releasing them for 10 minutes straight, and then like standing on the spot and just jumping up and down and going for 10 minutes. And then after all this sort of rigmarole of physical exertion, you then just sit, and you're now ready to be receptive to this place of calm and stillness and silence. So I need to do that sometimes. Do it. Do whatever you want. Go for a run and then come back and just lie down. Just anything to bring this stillness and reconnection with yourself. Because when we're not connected, we are mental. We're absolutely insane. The only time where you could consider us not insane, when you're actually connected to yourself. When you're actually listening to yourself. When you're actually conscious of the answers of which you are already aware to all your problems, all your issues. You already know what to do. You're just pretending you don't. So stop pretending that you don't and start acting on what you do know. Because you do know. Your intuition already knows. Your inner being already knows everything about you, everything of who you are, everything of what you want, everything of what you do not want, everything of what you do not accept, everything of which you do accept, everything of which you love, everything of which you want to welcome into your life, everything that you're hiding from yourself that are getting in the way of what you want in your life. And all it does, all it takes, all it starts with is to just sit and connect with yourself, who you are, who this person is in the gut, who this person is in the heart, who this person is in this mental mind. Because it's all part of you, it's all one. And when you connect with that, you connect with the oneness that is everything else. You cease to be separate. There is no internal and external. If you are at one with you, then you are at one with everything and everyone. So your outer world, this crazy, uncontrollable outer world, becomes the inner world. Because it's a part of your inner experience. And so your inner world becomes a part of the outer world. You express your experience from this inner, deep, knowing self-love. Self-love is love for everything. Think of this, alright? We think of love as giving love and receiving love. We think of it as an exchange. You either give love to someone or you either receive love from someone. But think about the state of being in love. I don't mean falling in love with someone, that is absolutely a prime example of it, but I mean any love. Love for a child, love for a sky, love for an animal. Just that, anything, that sensation, feeling, love. Okay, you got it, feel it, here's the love. Now think of when you do something nice for someone just because. You don't want anything out of it, you don't need anything out of it. You are giving love to someone for the pure sake of giving love. And that brings you love. Okay? And then when someone does something for you, without any need, no conditions, I'm not talking about conditional love, I'm talking about unconditional love. Someone gives you love, does something really nice for you, how does it make you feel? Same love, right? Exact same love as when you give love. Giving love and receiving love is the same love, it's the same thing, it's the love that you feel, it's the love that that person feels, in their unique way. It's your unique love, but oh look, it's the same love. We all feel it, it's the one thing that divinely connects us with the inner world and the outer world, with each other, with everything. It's the one song, universe, love. So when you love yourself, when you become selfish to be selfless, you connect with everything, not just yourself. Everything. Yourself is everything, and everything is yourself. When you are in this place, when you're not, you're disconnected, you're mental, you're narky, you're an arse, you make stupid decisions, they affect everyone else, and you know it all along, but you're hiding it from yourself. Stop hiding from yourself. Get to know yourself. Know yourself, you'll know everyone else. You'll know everything else. Then you can start doing things that actually matter, important issues. You know? No one cares about your stupid little relationship problems, okay? The world is going to die in a few years. I think that's pretty much more important than if you've fallen out with your girlfriend, okay? However, it's not. Because everything matters. The relationship matters. Your relationship matters. Everything is relative to you. So it hugely matters that you are okay with these things like relationship issues. Because then you see what is important to not just you, but the other person and the greater world. Your community. Start there. When you do things for yourself, you can then do things for the community. By doing things for the community, you are doing things for yourself. This is my philosophy for the whole channel. Healing yourself heals your relationship with everyone around you. Healing everyone around you heals your relationship with yourself. That's why I do this. I was going to say, I don't do it for my health, but I do. I do it for my mental health, I do it for my physical health, I do it for my spiritual health. And for the mental health and the physical health and the spiritual health of others. Because if you're watching this right now, I'm doing it for you. Because you are a part of me, this inner knowing of me. This is what I have to do, this is my purpose. I don't know why, it just is. And if I don't do it, I'm not living my purpose. And when I'm not living my purpose, I'm going mental and running around like a headless chicken, complaining to everyone, got all these problems, rather than just sitting there and going, this is me, and this is something I must do. So, connect with that. Stop hiding from yourself, because everyone else can see it. When you're hiding from yourself, you're hiding from other people, but they know it, and you know it. Everyone knows it. And it's not just you, because you know about other people, right? You can see when someone's hiding from themselves or hiding from you. You can see the deeper truth of why they are acting in a particular way. And if you can see that without judgment, then it's because you have been through that experience yourself, so you've gleaned wisdom from this experience. Wise people aren't wise. They just fucked up a lot more. So, take from this video what you will. My only desire from this video is that you connect with yourself and share this video with other people so that they connect with themselves. And however you do that, discover it for yourself. It's important that you discover it for yourself, because that's part of your life, your experience, your world. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. But I have a couple of meditation videos on here. Have a look, I have a 30-second meditation that you can try at any point in your day. I have longer meditations. I'm going to record more meditations for specific things and more general meditations. Just all these things, all these techniques almost muddy the waters with the very simple thing of just connecting with yourself. That is the only aim. And if you aim to connect with yourself, overall, this is the overarching point. If you solely focus like, right, I'm going to sit and connect to myself, you're not going to get there. But if you have it in the back of your mind, in the subconscious, you will keep reminding yourself that when you're going mental, to connect with yourself. And by doing that, you unconnect with everything. You disconnect. You see how opposites are like exactly the same thing. Being selfish is selfless. Being selfless is selfish. Connecting with yourself is by disconnecting with everything else. When you disconnect with everything else, you connect with yourself and everything else. So, it truly is me and everyone else. Namaste.